Hi everyone, how are you doing? It is Victoria Player here of victoriaplayer.com. Welcome to today's free training. I am just going to give you a minute or two to get online, get myself settled in, and then we'll get started with the training. I know some of you will be listening into the replay later on, but I will give you a moment or two to jump online. So as you come in, feel free to introduce yourselves and then we'll get started. So let's get this in the right position and we'll be ready to go in just a moment or two. Hello, who's that who's just joined us? We're just waiting for everyone to jump on. Please do introduce yourselves and your business as you join, even if you're listening to the replay, because of course this is an opportunity for you to be seen and heard and excuse me, to step into your spotlight. Oh dear, that's a good way to start. Beg pardon. So do introduce yourself as you join us, even if you're listening to the replay. Just share a little bit about you and your business. And of course, feel free to interact with one another, tag each other's names so that people know who you're talking to. It is a great way of getting the message out about you and your business. And of course, today I'm going to be sharing some really juicy content around the topic of being a speaking superstar. I'm going to be sharing my complete step-by-step system for quickly designing, marketing, and presenting a compelling signature talk that wins hearts and minds, rapidly builds your list, and reliably transforms your audience into eager paying clients. And I'm sure there isn't one of you who wouldn't say yes to a bit of that. So hopefully, hi, I see some of you are just joining, so please do let me know who's joining us below. Introduce yourself, share a bit about your business, say hello so I know who's on here. I know it's Saturday, so it'll probably take people a minute or two to get online. So I'll wait for you all to join for a minute and then we will kick off with today's Speaking Superstar training. And actually the good news is that I'm going to do one today and I'm going to do a series of them over the next few weeks. I'll be sharing more about that. Who is that who's giving me the thumbs up? I can see you all here, but I haven't got your comments for some reason. So let me know who you are and where you're watching in from, so I'm not just speaking randomly into the ether. So, what are we at? We're at 5 minutes past now, so I will get started. And today, as I said, we are looking at my complete step-by-step system for quickly designing, marketing, and presenting a compelling signature talk that wins hearts and minds, rapidly builds your list, and reliably transforms a percentage of your audience into eager paying clients. So, by the way, if you see me looking down, it's because I've created some notes today. I'm going to be covering quite a lot of content, and I honor your time. Irene, hi, nice to see you. Thanks for commenting. Welcome on to today's training. One of the things I will say, we are going to be covering a fair bit of content. Please do feel free to comment as we go along, share any insights that you've had, and also share your questions. I will be taking your questions towards the end, just to keep the flow of the training short and to the point, because I honor your time. I value that you have chosen to spend your an hour of your Saturday with me here, and the same for you if you're listening into the replays. Do feel free to comment along and ask questions, because I always come back and check them over later on. But I will be looking down a fair bit to help me stay on track with our topic today, so we can get as much in as short a time as possible. So welcome everyone. It is a delight to have you with me here today. Thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me today. I wouldn't usually do stuff on a Saturday. However, I've got to be completely honest, I have not had the time to do it at all on any other day, because I've literally every single day I have been working back-to-back clients, hosting intensives, and towards the latter part of the week I've not even been at home. Some of you have been over to my personal page and have seen it. I had a lovely day meeting lots of the Inspired to Greatness women in London at the gorgeous Claridge's Hotel. So Saturday was the only day that I could come to you and share this, so that's why we're doing it today. Right. So, who is this training for? Well, it's most appropriate for people who run a service-based business. Perhaps you are a coach, a consultant, a therapist, an holistic practitioner, basically anybody who delivers a service as opposed to a product. Although, you know, speaking can work for selling products, but it's a slightly different format. And, baby, can you oh no, it's the TV. Sorry, my son's just put the TV on in the background, so if you can hear something, that's what it is. All right, so who is this for? It will be for you if you feel that you have a powerful message that you want to get out into the world, and you feel that perhaps speaking is the next step for you, but you're not sure how to get started, and you don't know how to start getting booked for speaking gigs. Also, it may be that you lack confidence in the area of speaking and feel nervous about being the one to be standing up at the front of a room, sharing your message. And, you know, I think a lot of that nervousness comes with not really knowing what format to use and how to deliver that message. I mean, we're all experts in our own field, but putting that in a cohesive order that actually leads people to becoming clients is a different matter. It may be that you're worried about providing great content or indeed giving away too much, because one of the challenges I see, even with people who are speaking a lot, is that they are giving away too many tips. Now, listen, I'm a great believer in providing a lot of value and a lot of great content, because that's a demonstration of what it would be like to be working with you. But I see the challenge I see for a lot of people is that they do it at the behest of the sale. So they are giving lots of tips, but without doing it in a way that brings people further into your world so that they say yes to becoming a client with you. Also, perhaps you already enjoy speaking in front of audiences. Perhaps speaking and doing talks to networking groups and things has been something that you've done in the past, but you've not always made great money for it, or perhaps you're looking to up-level the money you make from speaking. And finally, it is for those of you who have a really powerful or compelling story to share with the world, and you really want to engage your audience and inspire them to take action without being pushy or salesy. Because, of course, a lot of what speaking is about sharing your compelling story, which warms hearts and minds, but that helps people see themselves in your storytelling process, because this isn't always about just pushing a sale on somebody. It is about bringing them into your world, educating them about what you do, and then offering them, inviting them to take the next step to get the help that they need. So, one of the things I want to begin by sharing, funny enough, we were just talking about story, is my story. Who am I to share this with you now? What qualifies me to speak about this topic? Well, over the years, I've done a lot of speaking. Less so now, because, now I choose to use this platform. I have a small child at home. I'm a lone parent. So for me, speaking virtually is the next best option, because it means I don't have to have so much time away from my son, and I can reach people all around the all around the world and the country using virtual speaking. So that is my preference. But in the beginning, I honed my skills by doing live speaking. And in fact, one of the examples I want to share with you is actually my very first speaking experience. Because if you are new to speaking, or perhaps speaking hasn't worked for you, you may feel that it's something that's, not going to work for you. So I'm going to share with you an example of what happened for my very first speaking gig. It was a huge success for me right from the get-go, but that is because I was very intentional about every step of the process. You know, it was not luck. Luckily, I'd worked with a mentor who taught me exactly how to do it and what to do and when, and how to really capture the hearts and minds of my audience. Plus, one of the reasons why I had such amazing an amazing outcome with it is because nearly every single person in the room was potentially my ideal client. So, you know, the key to this is knowing who your ideal client is and making sure that you are getting in front of a room full of people that are nearly all your client, rather than just having the odd one or two in there. If you can hone things to the point where nearly everyone is your ideal client, then of course you're going to get greater results. And so that is one of the reasons why my results were so great, because I knew my client like the back of my hand, and I spoke to a group of 30 people. They were all coaches, and nearly everybody I work, you know, as you know, that's who I work with: coaches, consultants, and therapists, people in service-based businesses. So it was a very fine-tuned audience, shall we say. But it was a success from the get-go. I did an hour-long talk to a group of 30 people, hosted by one of my clients at the time, and I enrolled so many clients in one night, which then went on to become clients in other packages and programs, and it resulted in me making thousands and thousands of pounds. In fact, over £20,000 in revenue just from one speaking gig. Obviously, I didn't make all of that £20,000 right there and then in that exact moment, but I made quite a substantial amount in that time. And so, you know, it was definitely very profitable for me. It was my first speaking gig, and it's something that I then went on to do time and time and time again, because it gave me such a great return on investment. My thought was, if I'm going to spend time away from my son and be out speaking, then that hour that I'm using to speak needs to be super profitable. I need to get a full return on my investment of time and effort going there, and that was definitely the case for me. So because it was so profitable, and also there's the other benefit of I'm a natural communicator, and it's true that some of this can be taught, and that's much of what I teach too. How, a lot of it is learnt stuff, but I do like to talk, as you can probably tell. So it worked well for me. So from there on in, I ended up speaking all around the UK, and it got so that the word would get out and people would approach me to speak at their event, and indeed internationally. I started to speak all around the world using virtual telesummits and things like that, which is virtual speaking, of course, which of course led me into what I'm doing now. So really, it has been, speaking in one way, shape or form has been not only lucrative, but a very valuable and enjoyable part of my business model. Although I'm not doing so much live speaking now, I did live speaking for a number of years, but of course now we have this great technology that we see here on your phones, which means I can reach you without leaving my home. So the message still gets out to you, and I don't have to leave home at all. So welcome to everybody who's arriving. I can see you're all jumping on here. Camilla, hello, nice of you to join us. Please do feel free to introduce yourselves and your businesses and chat to each other as we go along. Do tag each other's names in the comments so that you each know who you're talking to. So same for all the people who are listening into the replay. So that is what qualifies me to speak about this topic. I've been there, I've done it, and I made a success of it from the get-go. And I tell you this not to be blowing my own trumpet. I mean, obviously you want to know that I am the real deal and I know what I'm talking about. But I chose that example because I want to highlight for you that if you deliver speaking in the right way, it can work for you straight out of the gates. But, you know, as I always say, this isn't about relying upon wish and hope. It's not just about showing up and just fingers crossed it's all going to work for you, because that, as we know, you know, hope marketing is not a strategy for business success. Now, one of the things, if you're listening to this now, and I saw a lot of you signing, registering your interest for this, and I know many of you because it is the weekend, you're listening into the replay, but there's a high uptake on this topic, and I'm assuming that if you are listening into this either live or via the replay, then you have many of the similar problems, in that perhaps you're at that point where you feel that nobody knows about you, or they know you, but they just don't quite get how you can help them. Eaton, please don't do that, babe. Thank you. So, you know, it's that building the know, like, and trust factor piece. A lot of people are out being visible, but there's like a disconnect. People aren't quite understanding exactly how you can help them. It may be that you're not seeing the results you're looking for because you've not yet really positioned yourself as an expert. And this is vitally important. And, you know, a lot of people are waiting for someone to give them permission to step up and own that position of expert. And a lot of people are stuck in the story of, yeah, but I'm new in business, who am I to ... fill in the blanks. But the truth is, you don't need to know everything. Obviously, it depends what you're doing, but what the key with this is, in terms of positioning yourself as an expert, it doesn't mean you need to know everything, because the truth is, in this world, it's impossible to know everything because we are always learning and growing. The key is that you need to know more than your ideal clients. And you need to be able to deliver what you say you're going to deliver. Now, so long as you're not lying about that or misleading someone, then my belief is you can position yourself as an expert, because if you know more than the people you serve, then compared to them, you are an expert in it. But you have to be in integrity with this. You have to be honest about this. But the key problem I see is a lot of women just simply aren't positioning themselves in that way. And, you know, when it comes to someone purchasing your services and parting with their hard-earned cash, they need to be certain that you're the real deal, that they trust you, that they know you, that they like you, that you are going to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver, and that they're going to get the results and the transformations that they're looking for. So my question to you at this stage is, what are you doing to position yourself as an authority? Because sometimes when we're out meeting people, we introduce ourselves, but where in that is someone perceiving you as the person to go to? So that's one of the problems that people may be having. Also, what separates you from your competitors, because there's loads of people doing exactly what you do. Obviously, you have your own unique DNA, and what I find as coaches, consultants, and therapists is, you know, there are people out there who have the exact skills and experience that we have, yet people will choose one person over another. So what is it about you that's going to help people do that? Why would someone choose you over your competitor? Also, you may be experiencing this problem. You know, what the question of, why are my services worth these fees? How are you communicating that to the people you can help potentially? And also, I know a lot of you are considering speaking because you are running out of leads. So, you know, one of the first things I work on with all of my clients is how to get that money coming in now. You know, the shortest, most direct route to clients and cash flow. Because whilst we're in that just getting by mode, we're just not very client attractive. But when you've got that, oh gosh, notification come up. When you've got that money coming in, it gives you that sort of sigh of, whew, yeah, I've got some space now to really think on how I can grow my business. And so, you know, I teach the fundamentals of getting the clients coming in, and most of us have opportunities all around us. A lot of us are actually leaving money on the table that's right there that we just can't see. And so that's what I do with people in the first instance. But then once they've sort of hoovered up that little treasure trove of people that are right there for the taking, in terms of transforming them into a client, the question can be, okay, what now? Where can I look to get my next lot of clients? And so this is the ongoing work, to always have a way of generating new leads for your business so that you can tap into those and have them, you know, convert them into real live paying clients. So I know, you know, speaking really does answer that question. If you go out speaking once or twice a month, you have an unbelievable ready source of new leads coming into your business consistently, so that you can then convert those into clients. Now, of course, if you don't know how to take those leads, if you don't know what to do with them, then it's not going to pay. And that's another challenge I see for a lot of women. They see people going out speaking and they think, oh, well, I'll try speaking. And they reach this audience and a room full of people that could potentially be their client, but then they do the talk, they end it, and it stops there. They don't know what to do after that. And you have to bear in mind that actually this is where lots of the main business is done, because people buy from those that they know, like, and trust. Sometimes people are not ready to buy immediately. They need to see and hear your message a number of times before they're ready to say yes to working with you. Ethan. So yeah, this leads piece, like generating leads and knowing what to do with them once you have them, is everything. And a lot of people simply aren't doing that. The other problem you may be experiencing is, and I bet there's a lot of you, I'd be interested, post yes in the comments below if you are hearing this. I don't have the money. Everybody has heard that at some time, and a lot of you are hearing it a lot. And so if you are hearing that, what I'm going to share with you today and in the upcoming trainings following this is how to completely eradicate that story, that thing that you hear over and over again, so that people are actually parking that statement and saying yes to working with you. Because I don't have the money. Sometimes people genuinely don't have the money, but the truth is people will find money that they do not have if they truly understand the value of what you're offering. Really, they will. If they can see how it's going to benefit them enough, they will find money from somewhere. So really, you know, I don't have the money is a story, although sometimes it can not feel like it's a story. But often it is just a brush off, because people really haven't positioned you as the authority in their mindset, or because they simply don't understand the value. And speaking is a way of overcoming that, because not only do people get to see you and see the whites of your eyes and, you know, see your body language, because of course it's not always what we're saying, it's who we're being, it's how we look, everything. People are using all those different stimuli to decide whether you're the real deal or not. And so speaking is a great way of building that know, like, and trust factor, and really providing value and breaking down a lot of buying skepticism in one go. So I'd be interested, of those descriptions I've just given you there, share with me which one are you experiencing, even if you're listening into the replay. I mean, you know, I'd love to hear from you, because of course by you sharing with me where you're at, I can really tailor these trainings to be more relevant to you. So if you share it with me, I'll brush up my trainings to bring you more value. Now, if you are experiencing any one of those challenges, and I'm sure you are, if you've signed up or if you're watching this, then the answer is probably yes in one way, shape or form. And what I find is, if I want you to identify, and do write it in the comments below, because I want you to own that. If it's a problem, then don't carry on the upsell at the end. Irene is saying yes, absolutely. And great, thank you for sharing that, because the sooner we get into reality about where we're at in the equation, if you don't have all the clients you need, if you're not fully booked, if you're not generating the income you're looking to receive, then something's not right. And so if you see yourself in one of the challenges I've experienced, I want you to own that and put a spotlight on it, because you can't change what you're not aware of. And also, it's about stepping up and deciding, listen, there's stuff here that can I can solve this, so I need to identify what's not working so I can make the decision to solve it. Because if you don't make the decision, you get to stay exactly where you are. And for a lot of women, that keeps them stuck in their story of lack. That where are the clients? I don't know where are the clients. The money's not coming in. It must be me. You know how it is. We start to beat ourselves up about it. We think it's something about us or our business. And what I want to really get across to you is that if there are people doing what you're doing out there who are making money, then you can too. It's not you. It's just you have to get good at the business of business. Most of us go into business because we're good at the thing that we do. Whatever your thing is, coaching, therapy, styling, whatever it is, whatever you're a consultant or therapist in, you did it because you're great at that thing. But that doesn't make you great at business. But what you have to own, and you can take all your time about this if you like, but the sooner you learn this, the more joy you're going to get in your business, is that it doesn't matter how good we are at the thing if we are the best kept secret. And so, unless we are out there serving our clients, we do not have a business. We have a very expensive hobby. And so it's your job to get into reality about those sticking points and do something about it so that you can get out and do the thing you're good at, which is serving people. But you have to get good at the business, the marketing of the thing. So out yourself in the comments. I'm going to be looking and giving you a loving kick in the pants, because you know me. Whether you're working with me or not, I like to, I'm straight with people, and I like to hold you all a little accountable, whether you pay me or not. So, I'm interested here, because, you're going to stay stuck in that story of lack otherwise. You're going to continue having no clients. You're going to continue having no money. And what happens with that? Do you know? I'll tell you what happens with that, because I nearly reached that point myself, and many of you have probably been there yourselves. When it gets hard like that, it just makes you want to give up. You start to doubt yourself, you start to second guess your own abilities, you think it's you become despondent, you fall out of love with your business, and then what happens? You go back to some shitty job you really do not want to do, and you give up on your dream of running a successful business. So don't let that be you. If you're good at your thing, they are your gifts. That's what you're supposed to be doing in the world. So take a stand for yourself so that you can get out and help the people you're here to serve, and not going back to some shitty job that is going to suck the life force out of you. If you have this calling in you, listen to it and act upon it, okay? Loving kick in the pants number 1. Delivered straight to you. All right, so where were we? I'm looking at my notes. I've lost track of my notes. So, back on track. The next piece of this is what should you do to solve these challenges? If you've said yes to any of these, then what should you do? Well, the first thing, number 1, write this down, is to get focused. The biggest challenge I see for a lot of women is that they're throwing everything but bar the kitchen sink at their business. When it's not working, they look around at what everybody else is doing and they think, well, she's doing blogging and she's always on social media and she's out doing speaking, and they just start to do everything but without doing anything well. And what happens with that is they then get into absolute overwhelm, feeling like a hamster running on a wheel at 100 miles an hour, going nowhere fast, getting more and more burnt out, showing up everywhere, but still not getting results. And of course, this is why you fall out of love with your business. So my answer to you, the key I want to share with you here is, get focused. You don't have to do everything. Success comes when you simplify and streamline your business so that you're focused on the few things that are aligned with your natural gifts and talents, that are aligned with the places where your people are hanging out the most, and that are going to be a pleasure for you. Because if you hate it, you are just not going to do it. And energetically, you're going to be giving off those vibes, whether you fake, they always say fake it till you make it. And yes, I believe there's some degree of truth in that. But if it's not your thing, you're going to do something to sabotage your success. And people are going to get that vibe from you. They just are. It's all about energy. It really is. So, it doesn't matter what's coming out of your mouth. If you're not feeling it on the inside, people tune into that. And there's, again, that disconnect, and they think something's not quite right here. And one thing I know in marketing and business success is a confused mind always says no. And if anyone's got even a tiny little bit of doubt, they'll just say no. It's as simple as that. So getting focused, pick a few things and do them well. If you do in the end want to do all of it, that's fine. I'm not saying don't do that, but just do one thing at a time and perfect it. Get really good at it. Get known for doing that. Because also this is about training your people that you can serve, so that they know that you're going to show up in this way at this time doing this kind of thing. So that's the first tip. Get focused. The other one is tip number 2 is to position yourself as the go-to expert. So we've talked about this somewhat. I probably put the cart before the horse on this one. To be successful, you have to give yourself permission. You have to show up as an authority. Like I said, you don't need to know everything, and it's okay to say, I don't know the answer to that question, or I can't help you with that, or that's beyond my, the length and breadth of my skills and experience. Actually, if you can say that, you'll get more business. I've actually found that to be beneficial in my business, because I've been in business for 10 years, but I didn't, I had to start somewhere, and in the early days I didn't know a lot of what I know now, and I had to own up to that. But it actually did my business good, because it meant I was in integrity, it showed that I was an honest person, and it showed that I was authentic and normal and vulnerable, that I'm not perfect and that I don't know everything. And I remember one speaking gig I was at. Someone asked me a question in the audience, and I just said, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer for that. However, I know someone who does, so let's talk afterwards and I can give you their details. And they came up to me afterwards and they said, that's such a refreshing change, because you clearly know your stuff and you were standing there at the front of the room, but you were humble enough to just say, I don't know. And not many people do that. And I found, over the years, just being honest in that way, it's a real rapport builder. People like that, because I actually find people don't enjoy it if you're too perfect or too polished. Because who is? We're humans, aren't we? We all make mistakes. We're all not perfect, and it gives other people permission to be the same. So going back to the positioning piece, showing up as an authority, showing up as an expert, and conveying your message in that way so that you sound convincing, so that you sound confident. Because if you are not convincing and confident, then how do you expect someone to ever say yes to working with you if you don't feel it in yourself? All right? So this is a decision. If you're waiting for a rite of passage before you can say, I now decide I'm going to be an expert, then you're going to wait a long time, because you can decide now. This is about your decision. Am I going to show up for myself and all I'm meant for? And am I going to show up for the people I'm here to serve? Because we can often make it about ourselves, like, I'm not sure whether just think, that's when we're making it very me-centric, rather than putting it out and thinking, no, I'm here to make a difference to other people. When we stop making it about ourselves and we think, I'm going to show up in the service of others, it is easier to position yourself as an authority. The next tip number 3, is to be visible. This is the key to transforming all of these problems that we were talking about. You've heard me talk about it over the last few months with my different challenges. You can go back up here above to access those. I've been talking about being seen, being heard, showing up and shining, being visible, being confident, and sharing your message powerfully is everything. It does then elevate you into that position of, positioning yourself as an expert. And the 4th tip is to get out speaking. Not surprisingly, become a speaking superstar. Now, listen, this isn't, speaking may not be for you. If it's not, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to do speaking. Pick the thing that feels like the right next step for you. But a lot of you have said to me that you really want to start doing public speaking, which is why I chose this today. It's not for everyone. I'm not saying you have to do it. Perhaps writing is your thing, where you're not as sort of up and front and center, as they say. But yeah, speaking is an unbelievable way to overcome many of the challenges we've just spoke about. So why should you consider speaking? If you are here, you are considering stepping into your spotlight and becoming a speaking superstar. And you're giving yourself permission to do so too. So why consider it? Well, the first reason, of course, is it rapidly increases your visibility, because you become known as a recognized authority within your niche. So we're just sort of ticking a few of the boxes we've just talked about. If you've got the balls to stand up in front of an audience, it suddenly gives you that authority. People can't help but position you as an authority if you're being the leader, if you're being the one standing up in front of everybody. It's an immediate authority play, which helps your business success, because it means that it positions you as someone who has more status, that knows what they're talking about, that has clearly done things enough that they're willing to speak about it openly and publicly. So it really does break down that buying skepticism. Also, if you're someone who is, a lot of my clients, we've done this piece of getting them started with the marketing and reaching out to people and using networking. But if you have realized that you need to generate more leads, or perhaps you really want to maximize your marketing time. So for me, at the moment, I just simply do not have time to go networking, because I have to get ready, I have to travel there and spend a couple of hours there. And in that time, realistically, I can only get to speak to 3 or 4 people, really, without being rude, because there's nothing worse than those people that just go, literally throw their business card at you and run away. But for me at the moment, speaking is because I'm so fully booked, it's difficult for me to find the time to do that. Whereas if I, not speaking, networking, sorry. Whereas if I choose to do speaking, in that hour, I can actually market one to many instead of just one to one, one to one, one to one. So as your business begins to grow, as you start to work with more clients, this is a more leveraged way of marketing your business. This is why I don't teach it, straight up front, because it's a more advanced strategy. So you can start marketing one to many instead of one to one, which of course maximizes your effort. You get a better return on your time. And also, you're going to triple your results because, of course, because you are sharing that one message one time, but you're reaching many people, you can obviously get a higher conversion rate. And when I say conversion rate, it means, taking someone from interested to enrolled. It converts them into a paying client. The other benefit is it will help you get your message out into the world in a way that's authentic and inspiring without being pushy or salesy. So, one of the things I find people do, they really do shy away from making the offer. And any of you who have been following me for a while, and those of you who are working with me, know that I absolutely insist upon asking for the sale every day. And there's lots of different ways of doing that, in terms of different strategies. But there's a way of doing it without being pushy and salesy. And I know a lot of you get really hung up about this because you feel like you're pushing for business, that you are being like an icky salesman. But there's a lot of, there's lots of ways to do it that really are authentic, that are just an extension of storytelling. So that when you actually do get to making the offer, people are ready. There is no push, there is no sales. And so speaking is a great way of doing that without feeling icky, because of course you're providing a lot of content, you're providing value, you're using a lot of storytelling to get the message across in a way that's super compelling. So it seems like the natural next step to share with someone how they can get help going forward, because if they're there coming to hear you speak, there's a reason for that. And it seems remiss to sort of bring them into your world and then say, okay, bye, and not share with them how you can help with them further. It isn't always about sales. It's about providing the help that people obviously want. The other benefit is that it will quickly build your list of people who have already pre-qualified themselves as being your potential ideal clients. So even if you're not interested in building an email list, and I tend not to use my email list in the way that I used to, because I just find that people aren't as responsive to email in the way that they used to be, but it's basically what it is. It's helping you see who is circling around like as though they're interested, as though they're going to be a potential client. So if someone has come to your speaking gig, and providing you've got the right topic and the right name and title for your talk, and you've marketed it well, then you're calling in a room full of people who have basically said, yes, this is a message, this is a topic I'm interested in hearing more about. So by the very fact that they are there immediately tells me these are people who are your ideal clients. And so that way there's no random marketing. You're not relying upon wish and hope. These are people who have pre-qualified themselves. But you then need to know, how am I going to take them from just being out here to coming further into your world and have them become your new clients and serving them at a deeper level. The other reason why you should consider speaking is that it generates a consistent flow of discovery sessions or enrolling conversations. This is basically your sales conversation anytime you need them. So if you need to generate some money or you want to make sure you're generating money on a consistent basis. Obviously, that is about ensuring you've got constant leads coming into your business on a month-by-month basis. You don't have to have lots, because anyone who's worked with me will know that I always say you don't need to have loads of people in order to make really great money. It's not a numbers game. It really is not. It's about the power of your message and how you're showing up. So if you have a strategy for booking if you have a strategy for getting booked for one speaking gig a month, let's say, that means, that's 1 hour of your time once a month. That's all. You then have this constant drip, 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 drip of new leads coming into your business. All pre-qualified leads, all people who have held their hand up to say, yes, I am your potential ideal client. Hello, that is money to be made right there and then. So this isn't, from your speaking gig, if you set up your talk in the right way, you will literally have people in your audience holding their hand up to say, yes, I'd like to have a conversation with you about how we can potentially work together. And with the system that I use, you can expect about half the audience to sign up for an enrolling conversation. You can expect to have nearly almost the entire room jump on your email list as well, so that you can follow up with them later on. So when you do this, 1 hour of your time, you can see that it can become very, very profitable in a short space of time. The other benefit is that you get to generate big paydays on demand and repeat an increased business, because you can, like I said, first of all, you can make an offer at the end of your speaking engagement. So right there, you have an opportunity to enroll new clients, even if it is just 2 or 3. So that's cash on demand. It also means, depending on what your offer is, it means that you can generate big paydays. Or if not that, these same clients will then go on to enroll with you in different packages and programs, which generates that repeat and increased business, which ups your income. But you've got to remember, even if somebody doesn't say yes to working with you there and then, some of them have signed up for an enrolling conversation, which means that they become a client a little bit later on. Then there's also those that have joined your list that you continue to market to, who will become clients even further down the line. So, the money that can be made from speaking, it's ridiculous not to do it. You can see why I do it as much as I have. It becomes very profitable because it really builds that trust with people. So they are some of the benefits that I am, raving about with speaking. You can see why I do the virtual option. Because everything you learn for speaking, you can do it virtually too. So that means that the world is your oyster. The formula I use for speaking, you can use it virtually. And that's free. It doesn't cost me anything to host this now. I can do it. My son is sitting right here. I can do it from home without leaving. Yes, I've had to do my hair and makeup, admittedly, but it's free. I've not had to travel anywhere. I've not had to pay for childcare. So simple. So simple. So it's such an unbelievably powerful strategy that you can use in so many different ways to get your message out, to get in front of people who have already said, yes, I'm interested in what you do. It's, a no-brainer really, isn't it? So I am going to continue sharing more about this over the coming weeks, and I'll tell you more about that in a moment. But I also shared with you that, I keep having a little notification come up on my phone. I also shared with you that this is a sneaky peek of a brand new program I am hosting. that starts at the end of this month on the, let me have a look here, on the 30th of October. It is called Speaking Superstar. And in fact, what I will do now is, so that you can see it, I will quickly put it in the comments here now. 2 seconds, where are we? So you can have a little looky here whilst I speak through it, and then I'll tell you a little bit more in a second. Where are we? Come on. There we are. Right. I can just see myself on the video. I'll just drop this in the comments quickly. So there it is. There's the link to it. So you can go and have a look at that. Speaking Superstar. So basically, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know to learn my complete step-by-step system for quickly designing, marketing, and presenting a compelling signature talk that wins hearts and minds, rapidly builds your list, and reliably transforms a high percentage of your audience into eager paying clients so that you can experience the things I've just shared with you and overcome the challenges I've just shared with you. So just to give you, I'm not going to go into it here in a big depth. You can go and look at that page to find out all the ins and outs about it. And I'm going to be talking about this over the next few weeks too. However, I want you to stay on and listen right now, because for those of you who take action very quickly in the next day or two, you stand to benefit. So it's worth staying tuned in. So here's what you're going to learn very briefly at Speaking Superstar. It is a virtual program, by the way, so this is accessible to you no matter where you are in the world. I'm going to be sharing with you my powerful 3-step plan for providing amazing value to your audience while still enjoying big financial results using speaking without being pushy or salesy. So this 3-step plan, the premise of it is there's a lot within each step, and you can find out more at the link below that I've just posted here. But the first step is I will be sharing with you the ABCs for designing and delivering a compelling client attractive talk. I'm going to be talking more about what's in that next week. But that is the first module. That's the first training that I'm going to be delivering. The second one will be about the marketing piece, so how to get booked for high-level speaking gigs, because of course it's one thing having a compelling message, and a lot of people I know, they put on their own talks, but if you are newer in business and you don't already have a community, it can be really, really hard to get bums on seats. So it is better if you go to someone else who already has a community. But of course, it takes some work to do that. And I'm going to be showing you exactly how to get booked as many times as you want so that you can get that 1 or 2 bookings per month to get the type of results we were just talking about. And the third training is centered around creating your marketing collateral. So this is about how to authentically maximize client conversion rates during and after your speaking gig. So didn't we say this a moment ago? You know, a lot of people they stand up, they do all their speaking piece, they make an offer, and perhaps they get a client. But the truth is, the real business is done after the event. So if you don't have a system for turning interest into actual paying clients, then you are leaving money on the table. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in depth, step by step by step by step by step. Because those of you who've worked with me know I do not leave any holes in my information. It is literally do this, then do this, then do this, then do this. So that is the premise of Speaking Superstar, so that you can get out and have this be super profitable for you simply by showing up for 1 or 2 speaking gigs a month. Even if you're not doing social media stuff, even if you're not attending networking, you know, you don't have to do it all. Just pick your thing, and if it's going to be speaking, then use this as your core lead generation strategy. It's your core. You know whether you're ready for this or not. But I suggest that it is a good option in terms of getting a return on your investment of time and energy. Now, here's the deal. Listen up, ladies. This is, if you're interested in this, then take action ASAP. Because until, where's my other notes? Just let me see my cutoff date. So you have until Monday, midnight, Sunday, the 15th of October. So that's midnight tomorrow, okay, to register for this program. If you decide to register in that time frame, then you're going to stand to receive a good saving on this program, because the usual investment is £997, so just shy of £1,000. However, for the next 2 days, I am opening spots for this at just £497. And I need you to know that there's only 6 spots available for this program. So if you want in, do it now and do it quickly, because limited spaces, and you can make a massive saving if you book by midnight tomorrow night. So that's tomorrow, the 15th of October. Now, I understand that some of you may not have £497 in your back pocket in this exact moment, in which case I've already thought of that. You can pay in 2 monthly installments, so it would be a non-refundable deposit now of $287, followed by another one when we start the program on the 30th of October. So that gives you a bit of wiggle room to get started. But like I said, in terms of the delivery for this program, it is limited to just 6 people. And the reason being is because I like to have a lot of contact with you. I like to be almost like your partner in crime for the period of this program. It's a 30-day program. I'm going to be watching everything you do. I'm going to be reviewing it. I'm really going to be working with you closely, because I'm a results girl. I do not want you to give me money if you're not going to go out and do something with this. I'm going to be right by your side to help you implement it as we go, to do the work in real time. This is not going to become shelf help. It's not a course that you're going to look at once and then do nothing with. I want you to do it with me in real time. So that's why we're doing just 6 people. And like I say, it's a 30-day program, which will be delivered as 4 weekly in-depth virtual workshops, okay? They're all accessible online at your leisure, so you don't have to make calls at a specific time. So that's the training portion. Oops, I've got a notification come up. That's the training, the how-to bit. This is what you need to do. This. So you access that at your leisure. You can listen to it as many times as you like to get the actual how-to. Now, this is where the accountability and support from me comes in. I will be delivering 4 small group coaching calls, which will take place on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. All the details are at the webpage. But this is where I really do the hand holding. I'm going to be checking in with you to make sure that you know what you're doing. There's going to be assignments that you do, so I will be overseeing those. You'll be able to ask me anything you like. And because there are 6 of you, you will each have your own coaching spot. You'll have your own personalized coaching time with me. To get that feedback and any support you need. It may be mindset stuff, whatever's personalized to you, whatever is coming up, I can support you in the moment with that. I will also be providing lots of done for you outlines and checklists and templates and flowcharts outlining what to do and when, and a lot of fill in the blanks pieces so that you can just plug in the specifics for your business. Those of you who've worked with me before know how valuable those pieces are. And also a private Facebook group that is only for the members of Speaking Superstar. So that way you can ask me questions between our trainings and between our coaching calls. And also it's a place to post your assignments so that I can actually look at them and give you feedback in real time. So, I'm pretty much available to you for the whole 30 days. So that's going to give you the accountability. I'm going to be watching you to make sure you're actually doing the work, because I want you to be super happy. I want you to get results with this. I want you to go out and start speaking as soon as possible. So that is it. If you have any questions, please do post them in the comments below, either now or even if you're listening into the replay, post your questions. Or if you go to the bottom of that website, the link is just below here in the comments, there is an option for you to sign up for, you can just book for a quick clarity call with me to find out if it is the right fit for you. But yeah, everything is on that webpage. So don't forget, you have until this Sunday, midnight, this Sunday, the 15th, to take advantage of that big saving. After that time, the investment will be increasing every single week going forward. And this is a steal when you consider just how high the return on investment can be for speaking. So just think about it in this way. Just one client, if you just got one client from your speaking gig, that is going to give you an immediate return on investment. And then of course you can just rinse and repeat this system anytime you need to make more money. So it's a drop in the ocean, really. It's what do they call it? A no-brainer is what it is. All right, so that is it from me in terms of the content. Yeah, find out more about it at that webpage. The other thing, before I take your questions about anything we've shared here today and also about the Speaking Superstar program, the other thing I want to share with you, I'm also going to be doing some other trainings around this topic of speaking. So next week on the 21st of October, it's going to be a Saturday again. I'll be sharing the ABCs of designing and delivering a compelling client-attracted talk. So giving you a taster of what's in that first training, parts of the program. Also marketing on the 28th of October, marketing, how to get booked for high-level speaking gigs. And on the 4th of November, I'll be hosting how to maximize client conversion rates during and after a speaking event. All right. So keep your diaries free, because it's going to be on Saturdays at the same time going forward, because I don't have availability during the week. And that is it. Sorry to have to roll this out as a group program, but as I said, I literally am fully booked for my private coaching at the moment, so I've had to work in a leveraged way with you all. So this is the only way I can do it and still be able to bring you a lot of value. All right, so ladies, let's hear, what questions have you got? Any insights, any aha moments? I'm going to put my glasses on because my eyesight is failing at a rapid pace of knots. Let me come closer to see what you're all saying. Any questions, ladies? We've not got that many comments here. So true, yes. Upsale at the end, Irene says. Any other questions that you would like to ask me, either about the content we've shared today or indeed this Speaking Superstar program? I'll wait for a few minutes to let you share your comments, any insights, any ahas you've had. What's going on for you? And don't forget, you can ask away as well if you are listening to the replay. No more? You've gone quiet, everybody. I hope my internet connection's all right. All right, well, if there's no questions from you, I will love you and leave you. I look forward to welcoming some of you onto Speaking Superstar very soon. Other than that, I will see you either around in the Facebook group and also for our second training next Saturday at 1 p.m. So I look forward to seeing you then. This is Victoria Player signing out. Bye for now.